fun. It's a skeleton. That's your foot. That's what your foot looks like inside your skin, guys. It's very exciting. Hey guys, Alisha.
And Josh.
Here with Terradrift, and we're here with another shoe review.
The Altra Wahweap, to be precise. We've been learning a lot about Altra lately.
Specifically about zero drop shoes. That's when there's no difference in how far the ball of your foot is from the ground and how far the heel of your foot is from the ground.
Word is, zero drop is supposed to be pretty good for your feet and spine, and supposedly strengthens your feet too. Makes you more stable, offers more power for stepping off, you name it. So Alisha got a pair of Altra Lone Peak hiking shoes last summer, which are zero drop, and she liked them quite a lot. So we thought we'd give some of their other kicks a try.
This time it's the Wahweap, a zero drop approach style shoe. What makes it an approach style shoe? So glad you asked. Basically, it's a style of shoe especially popular with climbers because of the rubber-capped toe, which is good for scrambling over boulders en route to the climbing wall, but also because the heel is designed to collapse, so you can easily slide your feet in and out in between taking off and putting on your climbing shoes over and over again.
But this shoe is obviously not just for climbers. It's just a good shoe. For starters, it's made partially of super sustainable hemp, which is awesome because hemp is an environmentally friendly crop on so many levels. But also because hemp can stand up to a lot of abuse, wear and tear, and the shoes also seem fairly water resistant, which is convenient. But Altra doesn't state that on their site. So don't go splashing through any mud puddles and expect your feet to stay dry. The soles are even siped. That's these little squiggles sliced into the rubber you can see when you bend the sole a bit. They help keep you from slipping if you're hiking across shallow water.
That said, they're not super good on slightly wet surfaces. When I hiked over some slick rocks, I felt pretty unstable, and my feet did slide around a little bit, which was less than desirable. But that's partially because even though the Wahweap is an approach shoe, the sole isn't made of climbing shoe rubber, which means it's not as grippy. If I had one complaint about this shoe, that would be it. I really wish that the sole was made of like a climbing shoe rubber.
But despite being fairly minimalistic, meaning they're not super cushioned or supportive in design, we both found them pretty comfortable. That's probably because of Altra's foot shape toe box. It gives your feet room to be feet, and your toes to naturally splay and wiggle and stuff, which is supposed to offer more stability. Plus, they're really lightweight and not too tight or thick, so they're really easy and comfortable to wear.
Altra also makes a big deal about their women's-specific shoe designs. They designed their women's shoes specifically for women's feet, which apparently have a narrower heel and midfoot, a higher instep, a longer arch, and unique bone spacing, instead of doing what other shoe manufacturers do, which is, as they say in the industry, shrink it and pink it. That said, they did very obviously pink it. And I know I said my only complaint with these shoes was the rubber on the sole, but it's also the colors available in the women's shoes. There's this dark rose color, a teal option, and taupe, which is more or less light pink. I'm not a really huge fan of any of them, to be honest. I wish more manufacturers would stick with neutrals, especially for shoes, because if I'm going to be taking one pair of shoes traveling, I'm going to be straight with you, they're not going to be purple. But that's totally my opinion. If you dig vibrant colored shoes, like I guess many women must based on the number of manufacturers designing them, you're gonna love the color options. That said, the more I wear them, the more the purple's kind of growing on me. I don't hate it.
The guys' version, however, comes in a much more subdued woodsy green,
So jealous.
this grayish khaki, and a very bold red. Now this is still an approach shoe, so they may not be as flexible as the other Altra shoes, but they're definitely more flexible than other approach shoes we've owned before, namely the Cruiser Psyche from Evolve.
That guy didn't move at all.
But I actually think these are pretty slick. You could definitely hike to the climbing wall in these, then cruise around town and go to dinner and no one would look at you weird. And honestly, that's a pretty well-designed shoe in my book. We're always on the lookout for that one shoe we can take traveling that can do everything. And while the tread on these isn't super aggressive, they're pretty close to fitting the bill.
If only they were available in neutrals. For the ladies too, just black and gray. As for wearing them, you know, they're really light. They're not going to take up much room in a suitcase. They pack very flat. They're fairly flexible because there's not a lot of padding and material in there. They're a little bit cooler than your typical sneaker. Because they're so roomy, they don't get as hot as a lot of other shoes that you might wander around town in. So despite the fact that there's not really a lot of arch support, I found them pretty comfortable. And they're also fairly true to size. I wear an 8 usually in sneakers and running shoes and that sort of thing, and these are an 8. They're like perfectly roomy. I could even go on some like easy hikes with them because there's enough room for my toes to move about a bit. What would you think of the size? How did the men's fit for you?
So for me, the men's fit true to size as well. I wear a 9.5, and these are in fact a 9.5. Had plenty of room in the toe box, but fit very snugly where it mattered. Overall, I'm really happy with them.
Yeah, I kind of like them.
Well, that about covers it, I think. Would you try out a pair of Wahweaps? What do you think of the colors? We'll put a link to where you can buy them in the description below. In the meantime, if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, family, and anyone with feet, and subscribe for more gear reviews, cool destinations, and sustainable adventure.
Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Terradrift, and head on over to terradrift.com for all sorts of sweet travel and adventure content. Thanks for watching, and wander on.